Hi, I'm Nancy Andrews along with Bonnie Stewart for This Week at the Capitol. Bonnie, let's talk a little bit about some of the activities at the Capitol this week. There was a labor informational hearing talking about unemployment situation here in Connecticut. Can you fill me in on that?
Sure. Everyone's been very concerned with the whole unemployment situation because Connecticut's trust fund, like most other states, right now is insolvent because just of the high rate of unemployment. So the Labor Committee asked for the State Department of Labor and CBIA to come, give a presentation, and answer some questions regarding the fund and some of the situations that we're facing. So Joe Brennan and myself testified along with the people from the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor gave a good overview of the financial situation, and then we answered a lot of questions for legislators. It'll be a hot topic for the remainder of the year and probably for a couple of years to come because, as I pointed out, the unemployment situation is not the greatest, and on top of that, the unemployment fiscal situation is a problem as well. It's something that will also be talked about at the federal level. The president is expected on Monday to make several proposals regarding the financing of the state trust funds, including Connecticut's. And so we'll be paying close attention to see what happens in Washington because that clearly will impact us here at the state level.
Okay, and Kia testified in front of the Labor Committee on captive audience as well?
Yes, the Labor Committee unfortunately has moved forward with the employer gag order, the one that really restricts how we can communicate with our employees. It's just a bad bill. And fortunately, a lot of businesses made that statement as well by submitting testimony in opposition to that measure. Kia did a great job of getting up and explaining the employer's concerns, and we encourage and thank our members for contacting legislators, but again, encourage them to continue to contact them because it makes a big difference. So, make sure you write in, call in, and let your legislator know that you want them to vote against this very harmful measure.
Okay, and the Insurance Committee voted against a measure that would have been harmful to businesses?
Yeah, great news in that committee. We've been telling legislators for quite some time, and clearly they're starting to understand that you can't say you care about the high cost of health care and continue to increase those costs. So in the Insurance Committee this week, by only a one-vote margin, but that's all you need, they defeated what we've been calling the mega mandate bill. And that's a bill that would impose a variety of mandates, health insurance mandates, against employers and insurance companies. And so with that being defeated, that helped not increase those costs. So we're very appreciative of their efforts there.
And the governor has been making news. He announced some agencies consolidations. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, yeah. The governor's quite the Twitterer. He's been keeping everybody updated both with his tweets and with various press conferences up at the Capitol sharing information. In particular, he talked about two different mergers that he's planning on taking place, or consolidations. And one of them had to do with the Department of Environmental Protection and the Department of Public Utility Control, DEP and DPUC. He's talked about combining them for a mega agency that would be called DEEP, the Department of Environmental and Energy Protection. And he has also named a commissioner for DEP now that would head up both organizations later, and that is Dan Esty. We are very encouraged that the governor continues to reach out to people that have a lot of knowledge in the various areas that he's asking them to cover, and we think that's great because bringing in somebody that's got experience in both those areas is going to be helpful for Connecticut and hopefully help us with our permitting process at the Department of Environmental Protection. In addition to that, he also talked about another merger on the higher ed side. Again, an area where there's it's ripe for a lot of consolidation, where you can actually, in the end, improve efficiency and effectiveness of the agency's operations. So we're very pleased by what we've heard so far in terms of his desire to make the state more efficient and more effective.
Okay, and then of course next week everyone's anticipating his complete budget address.
Right, the governor gives his budget address on February 16th, and at that time we get the whole package, just not little tweets anymore. And that'll be great because everyone's very curious about what's actually in there, because we've heard these little snippets that we're going to consolidate this or consolidate that, but as we all know, the devil's in the details. So we get to see the entire budget next Wednesday. After that, we'll start having hearings in both the Appropriations and the Finance Committee to flesh out what's in the budget, get input from the public, and decide where we go from there. In addition to the budget address, there's actually a number of public hearings up at the Capitol next week. One that will have a significant impact on the budget is one in the Public Health Committee on a measure regarding the state taking over the role of health insurer. It is called Sustinet, a measure that we've got great concerns with given the state's current unfunded liabilities. So that'll be heard on Monday. In addition to that, we've got hearings in Transportation, the Commerce Committee, a slew of other committees. So it'll be a very busy week at the Capitol. And we'll get back to everyone next week and let them know what happened.
Okay, thanks, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
For more information, visit us online at cbia.com.